Howdy folks, TJ here. This video is going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit all over the place too because I had this video wrapped up yesterday. I had it ready to serve this morning on the YouTubes at 7 a.m. But I scratched that because last night after I tinkered some more, I came up with some new answers. So this video is kind of like me asking a question, going through it to see if I could answer that question, answering it but not the way I kind of liked, and then playing afterwards, after making the video, but playing more, being persistent, and finding the real answer that I was looking for. What's this all about? You're going to see a number of introductions, because right after this new introduction I'm doing this morning on Tuesday, you'll see the introduction of the original video that I did yesterday. Anyway, it's all about this device back here, the Blackmagic eGPU. And under testing, I wasn't getting what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, I saw that it would do cool stuff in video frames per second. I did that test, that Unigine Valley test, and that was cool. And then I did some rendering of some videos, and that's where I started scratching my head like, I wonder if this device is really for me, because I'm not an avid video game player, but it seemed like up to date that, yeah, if you're a video gamer, this may help on games that took advantage of an external eGPU. I don't know if all do, probably not. And then maybe it helps for on-screen video, meaning if you're scrubbing a video, that if it was really choppy under something older like my MacBook Pro, maybe it would help in those areas, which is a good thing. Rendering, I thought it would be faster. It wasn't, but then it was. Am I confusing you? I'm confusing myself. But anyway, this is just a reintroduction because last night I found out some information that maybe I wasn't getting faster rendering because my videos are kind of simple. I'm a simple guy. You know when you get iMovie for the first time and you make a video and you just grab a video that you made on a camera and put it on and that was it, and you render it and you put it on YouTube? That was step one. You made a video. Then you get a little bit more frivolous. You put a title to that movie, and you put a title in the front. Oh, you're starting to get into video editing now. You slap that title on there. After the title, oh, you've got a whole bunch of videos you want to put together and then put transitions between them. Oh, you're really starting getting into video editing. And then after that, you start adding maybe a periodic sound effect or a bleep out a swear word, or you want to fuzz a license plate or fuzz something out that you don't want to have seen in the camera. Those are all things that I've kind of slowly learned over the years. But there's so much of, if anybody knows everything about DaVinci or any video program, I'm amazed because I only know just a little cusp of things. But as you start graduating, you say, hey, I want to blow myself up. So let's do that in a video, a little bit more cinematic. That's where an eGPU starts shining. It doesn't shine for me just going in and rendering a simple straight line video that I slapped on there of me singing happy birthday to my mom or something. Those are not going to shine. I thought it would, but it didn't. But then I started tinkering some more. So let me, you're now going to go into the second introduction. Watch through the whole video and you'll get some conclusions of me going through and saying, yeah, this is not what I thought, but hey, yeah, it does improve a little bit here on my MacBook Pro. And then I'll come in and make a new video, and I'm just staging it right now because I've got to record it. But I've got DaVinci now on my Mac Pro 2013 nuclear reactor. I'm going to just quickly show you what I did last night to say, okay, now I get it. Kind of. I'm still always learning, but okay, done with this introduction. Let's go to the next introduction. If you watch through everything, if you're really here to figure out is an eGPU for you, eGPU for you, for me, for you, then maybe this will help a little bit. Okay, so hold tight. Howdy folks, TJ here. I've been doing some fun experimenting today on eGPUs, MacBook Pro 2014 13-inch Retina, in hopes that I could figure out what's going on with this whole, is an eGPU practical? Is it something for me? I already purchased it, but it is what it is. but I wanted to do a little figuring out, and I thought putting it on a lesser of a computer compared to the Mac Pro 2013 nuclear reactor that I own, not a trash can, that I would cut to the chase, because my initial experience is the only thing that I see that the eGPU connected to my two computers, this one MacBook Pro 2014 13-inch Retina, and the 2013 Mac Pro nuclear reactor, is that frames per second while probably playing video games. I don't play video games, not modern ones. I play old retro computer, 8-bit pixelated, and I like pixelated videos, not this new modern stuff. But I could see with the benchmark, the Unigine Valley benchmark, that I've done a video on here already with, that having an eGPU definitely helps if you want higher frames per second. And it's one of those things with a fly rod. In some cases, the longer the better with Tenkara fly rods, because there's no reel. It's a fixed line method of fishing. So the longer the better in most cases. So in video games, higher frames per second is a good thing. And so you'll have to take my word for it, I guess, or just, common sense. 60 frames per second will, and it staying there is better than 20 frames per second where everything's choppy. It makes sense, right? So the only improvement that I'm really seeing with my setup, the eGPU, is professionally, if I was using a program like DaVinci and doing some video work, it is helping in the playback in the timeline a little bit. On this one, still clunky, but you'll see here in a second. But rendering of videos, I'm getting diddly squat for better. Is it that I'm running the free version of DaVinci Resolve? This is 18-something. And I have to pay the $300 to get multiple eGPU capability and be able to run here and this one, and putting the two together and getting an improvement? I don't know. But at this point, I'm not seeing any rendering improvement in terms of speed. Now, the fans are whirring on this sucker when it's doing a render. When I do it over here, it wasn't. So it was quieter, a little less heater in the office. But I'm not getting better rendering speed. So the bottom line for me, in the testing I've done so far on both computers, is that rendering times have done nothing for me. Video playback, in terms of, if I was a big video gamer, yeah, I would want one of these to have more frames per second, for surely on this, because it is really bad on this, that Unigine Valley engine. On the Mac Pro, I think the D500s can hold there in medium resolution fine. Maybe when you went up to the ultra resolution, that's where you saw the RX 580 from here shining a bit. But again, that's video game stuff, and that's not my thing. I just wanted to see if rendering a video would be faster. So I had to step my game up a notch. On this, and you'll see the video that I'll put it all together, I was doing a 1080p video. And I rendered on this alone, and I rendered it through the eGPU, and it was the same speed. No improvement. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? This thing's not doing me diddly squat. So then I said, okay, maybe you need to throw something bigger at it. Now, my bigger is very generic. I made a 4K video, which I normally don't do, and then I exported it in 4K thinking, okay, that's a little harder to work. Same time, same rendering speed. In fact, the weird thing, I may have got 50 seconds better on this than without the eGPU. Weird. Maybe it's the Thunderbolt 2 to 3 and the drawback of doing that. Maybe you only really see better speed is if you do all this color correction and other things that really harp on the video card. I have no idea. But at this point, generically, for a schmuck like me, I'm not seeing it. And again, maybe it's this program alone, DaVinci Resolve. Maybe I have to pay that $300, which I'm not, for getting extra eGPU and putting this processor and this processor together and get a little bit better speed. Is it worth it if it does it? Or maybe I need Final Cut Pro. Again, I'm not willing to go out and spend $300 for that for what I do as a YouTuber, a YouTube channel. But let me just show you right now, and I'll bring the camera off its tripod and just show you, even with the RX 580 piped in through this, the video playback is choppy, but it is better. Because I will show you a video after this of me playing it back through this alone, just cutting through the timeline. And it is really bad. It's like 20 seconds apart. I'll go, hello. And 20 seconds later, hello. You know, the voices and the lips don't match. On this, it's off, but it is better. Is that enough reason to have an eGPU for this setup? No, I don't think so. If I saw a rendering improvement of a few minutes, sure. But I'm not, and I'm not willing to spend $300 to test it to let you know. So let me take this. Let me go ahead and take this off, and I'll just kind of show you up on the video. Right now, I've got a 4K video that I made on my iPhone Pro Max 14. I've got the RX 580 piping through the eGPU here, the original Blackmagic eGPU. And you'll see here, it's not great, but it is better than what I'll show you here in a few moments. So let me take this off. And I'll just hold it up to the camera here. Focus in a little bit. And let me go ahead and, where's the cursor here? Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit play. Hi folks, TJ here. I've got a little bit of a video rendering. Did I do well or poorly buying this Blackmagic eGPU? I would say everything's off a couple of seconds. That would make my whole rendering world faster and better. So I thought I need to do something here because my initial tests on one thing looked like, okay, that thing really works. On other tests, okay, so that's enough there. All right, so let's go ahead. This is a MacBook Pro 2014 13-inch Retina, no eGPU, 4K video timeline. Let's go ahead and play, and you'll see how bad the video plays back in this without the eGPU. Hi folks, TJ here. I've got a little bit of a video rendering. Did I do well or I don't know how many seconds it's apart, 20 seconds apart. Thinking that it would make my whole rendering world faster and better. So it's all over. I thought I need to do something here my initial tests. That's the only big improvement I see with an eGPU. Let me go ahead and stop this. On other tests, hold tight. So yeah, did you see how poorly it played on this? So without the eGPU, 10, 15, 20 seconds apart, something, missing frames all over. It just didn't play back. So that's where I think, for me, my experience so far with an eGPU, better frames per second, and the video playback in terms of scrubbing a timeline or watching within DaVinci definitely helps. It was still not great. I still had some choppiness and missing frames and everything with the eGPU, but it was definitely better. Is it worth the investment to have that little bit better on such an old computer like this? I don't know. I do 1080p, so I'm not 4King stuff. So for me, I probably wouldn't make sense. I bought it mostly for how cool it looks. I'll admit it. But yeah, at this point, if I was a video game player, new modern games, I could see a benefit because definitely better frames per second. And to me, in playing a video, that's very important. Playing a video game, very important. On this, being a professional with the, well, I can't say professional because I'm using the free version. Again, take this all with a grain of salt, but maybe when you try Apple's editing software or buy the DaVinci with the capability of more than one GPU, and it could use what's in your laptop and that, or in the case of the Mac Pro 2013 I have over there, there's 2 video cards in that and an eGPU. I believe there's, when you bring it up in DaVinci, you can actually put a check mark in all 3 for the paid version. Maybe it can harness it and maybe make rendering a little better. But at this point, I don't know. And it just doesn't seem to be falling into the cards that way for me. So at this point, I would say anybody looking to buy at least this one. Now, maybe if you go out and buy one of the eGPU boxes and then buy a very good higher-end video card, then maybe you'll see some improvements, even with the free versions, but I don't know. I'm not experiencing it. To me, the only big benefit was frames per second in that Unigine Valley benchmark, and I could see that falling over to, hey, if I played video games, maybe that's where things would shine better and you'd have more fluent action, which is a good thing. But for video stuff that I do 1080p, nah. 4K, probably not. At this point, the Mac Pro video card D500s seem to hold generally their own. Maybe if you were working a 4K timeline or something, maybe slightly better improvement. But I'm not seeing any improvements for rendering with the free DaVinci Resolve. Will it work better with other programs? I don't know. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found it somewhat entertaining and informative. Bye. Okay, I'm sneaking in here. I'm trying to do this at an angle. So, last night, as I noted at the new introduction of this video, I played around with my Mac Pro because ultimately I purchased the Blackmagic eGPU for it. I wanted to render videos faster. Now, I don't know if this is ultimately still going to help me a lot because most of my videos are fairly simple, but I am exploring. I am learning new things. I will do more with DaVinci. I will start doing color correction. I will start doing some effects in time. And so this should help me. Anyway, you probably don't see the screen too well. Sorry, I got a fur ball in my throat. What I did is I went into the settings of DaVinci. And right now I have it piping through, set up to use the AMD Radeon Pro 580. That's what it's going to do for this processing. So I just wanted to show you in the screen that I've got that selected. I made a video last night called Test Effects. And it's very limited. I got to move this screen over here now. It's not rocket science stuff. It is a very simple, I've never done effects before, right? So I did this one with these little binocular things. Little binoculars. And then I did this other, so I split the clip. I just grabbed 12 minutes of video. I split the clip. On this one, I did this weird binocular thing. And then on this clip, I did this other thing. It's like a crosshairs or something. These were effects, apparently. And things that I don't use, but maybe one day I will. Or maybe there's an explosion one in here I haven't figured out yet. But needless to say, okay, let's add some effects. Things that real editors do, not Schmucky from Kentucky that's doing this. Hey, that rhymed. Schmucky from Kentucky. I can make a song out of that. Okay, so here I am. So I'm going to render this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go down and go to the deliver section here. And I'm going to, up here, again, you're probably not seeing this, but you're seeing it well enough. I'll explain what I'm doing. I'm going up here and I need to give this thing a name. I'm going to give this Test Effects. I think we're up to number 6 now. Test Effects number 6. I'm going to save it to an actual whirring hard drive. I ran out of space on my SSD. This Mac Pro only came with 256, and I'm not writing to it right now. I want to keep it pretty clean. So I'm just writing it to an external hard drive through USB 3.1 connectivity. So it's okay. It's okay. And so I'm going to write it there. I'm leaving all the other settings as they are. But I'm going to select YouTube. That's actually the one I should have done. YouTube is my area that I'm trying to go to. I'm just going to do this as a 1920 by 1080 HD, 30 frames per second. And that's it. It's a YouTube selection. Test effect number 6. I'm going to go down here to add. You'll see all my other ones I did yesterday. But we're going to do another one. I'm going to add render queue. And I'm going to go ahead and click on render 1. Now, I'm going to stop the recording. It is, did it start? I think it started. Yes, it's going. It's doing its thing. I'll come back online, but what happened in a nutshell, that's an overused word, rendering got faster. So, under using the D5, is this thing coming in? You're probably seeing my face kind of blurry, and the lighting in here is weird. Yeah, let me just stay there. If I'm a little fuzzy, that's okay. Okay, so under the D500s in the Mac Pro, when I select that from DaVinci, it was taking 8 minutes and 45 seconds or so to render. I then chose the RX 580 instead. It did it in 5 minutes, 20 some odd seconds. There was a 3-minute improvement with having just these two weird little effects that I added to it. Now imagine if I was really doing something special with lots of effects and blowing up and all these things. That's where you see this thing shine. Not in Schmucky from Kentucky making a single line quick video, in which renders, you know, quickly anyway. So anyway, so hold tight. I'll come back online here in a sec. Oh, my neck hurts now. Okay, we're going to swoop in. It is done. You'll probably see these clear enough. Maybe it's probably doing some screen warping thing here. The bottom one, test effects. 5 minutes, 47 seconds. You can see all the ones above it. The first two, well, actually, top one, I did as the RX 580. 5 minutes, 45 seconds. Then I did 2 runs using just the D500 video card. That's stock in my Mac Pro. 8 minutes, 38 seconds, 8 minutes, 29 seconds. Then I did another one last night, 5 minutes, 29 seconds when I switched back to the RX 580. And this morning, 5 minutes, 47 seconds. So, let me put this camera back up here, and we'll wrap up this video. Oh, that's blurry. Let me go turn on the light, too, here. But we'll wrap up this video. This is what, now the second ending? Third ending? I'm a bit all over the place. So anyway, so there you go. Yeah, this can come in handy when you start adding binoculars and other things, effects. That's where this thing appears to shine. When you're really doing real video editing, which I wasn't up until last night, apparently. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.